So in this video, I wanted to check out more Xbox 360 backwards compatible games that I believe everybody should check out and play. And these days, it's even easier when so many of the games can be played on the new hardware, bringing our games forward with us. And in this list, I have several games that everybody knows, but then also others that I found are often forgotten or didn't get the praise or attention that maybe they deserved. Actually, definitely deserved. But if you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and share it around as it helps out these smaller channels immensely. But with that, let's get stuck into some Gen 7 games, so let's do it. First at number 10 we have Left 4 Dead 2, and not only can you have some of the most fun with this game in co-op, it's been the inspiration for other games already released or still to come out. Choose one of several characters, select the level to play or follow the campaign, and try to hold out the zombie hordes that are thrown at you as you try and complete any objectives on your way to completing the level. You'll have a bunch of different firearms and melee weapons at your disposal to dispatch all the enemies, and these zombies are the fast type, not the meandering slow ones seen at other times, with several enemy types to kill which require some different tactics in order to still stay safe. Left 4 Dead 2 can get really intense, especially as the levels go on. It's a fantastic co-op game to play with others and will have you on the edge of your seat as you enjoy its tense and frantic gameplay whilst laughing a hell of a lot too. It looks dated, but don't let that stop you if you're after some co-op action. Plus, it's also split screen, which is even better. For number 9, we have Brutal Legend, and when making these videos, I also get to play games I never have before because these older titles can be played via backwards compatibility on newer hardware, and that's what's happened here. If backwards compatibility didn't exist, then I doubt I would play this at all, but this game is just light-hearted fun. For anyone who likes heavy rock and metal like myself, then you need to check out this game. You play as roadie Eddie Riggs as you face off against demons in an alternate world as you use an axe and your guitar to take them out. It has some top-notch riffs and music that play that keeps the action intense, and it has a fantastic sense of humour throughout with a great performance for the main character delivered by Jack Black. The game does show its age in that the performance is fucking terrible at times with dropped frames everywhere, but it wasn't enough to dampen my enjoyment of the game, nor was the somewhat basic combat, which does offer some variety, but would be even better with some more polish. This is a hidden gem for some third-person action fans. Next at number 8 we have Fable Anniversary. It's a quirky action RPG which was fun and engaging all those years ago, and it mostly holds up today if you can get over some erratic performance and regular loading screens which are fast, but they are there as you move between the different areas. This isn't an all-open sprawling world, but Albion is just a great place which strikes a balance between being something out of a fairy tale crossed with a fantasy as you build up your hero and renown throughout the land. This never takes itself too seriously, and it hugely works in its favour, and although the gameplay and combat does feel dated, it holds enough with its spell casting, swords and crossbows to stick with it to experience the story and everything Fable has to offer, such as owning houses or striking up relationships as well. Start with this one before the superior sequel, and then forget the fucking third one exists at all. It's a classic from the original Xbox days that has a facelift, so check it out if it interests you. Coming in at number 7 we have another looter, and it's Borderlands 2. And when we take into consideration everything across the 3 games, the second one is the complete package. The third game looks better of course as it's newer and has the better gameplay, but the sequel absolutely destroys it when it comes to story and characters. This is non-stop fun, especially with others via co-op, as you travel across the various regions and keep acquiring a whole host of bizarre and excellent weaponry to annihilate the fantastically designed and memorable enemies. And then there is Handsome Jack, who is one of my favourite villains in any game. With its great lengthy campaign, you'll be neck deep sifting through all of your weapons and items as you check their perks, benefits and weaknesses as you decide what loadout you'll have. There is enough here to keep you going all the way through, and if you play with someone else, it's even better. A classic. Next at number 6 is Battlefield Bad Company 2, and this needs to be played until the hopefully eventual Bad Company 3 comes out, as this still holds up incredibly well today. Now, I've always been a fan of the campaigns in Call of Duty or Battlefield. Not all of them, but this is one of my favourites as you join up with your comrades and battle your way through the enemies in this fantastic looking game, which is still pretty today, and it's even better when you see parts of the environment blast apart during the firefights. It's still impressive today, but the campaign as a whole still stacks up to newer games and should be played via backwards compatibility for any first-person shooter fans out there. This is one of the very few first-person shooter campaigns where I actually went back to it to play it again, as back on the Xbox 360, this looked so damn good back then. This franchise has been on hiatus for far too long, but check this out. At number 5, we have Asura's Wrath, and this is another game which I never played back in the day, so I played this for the first time recently, and it's so damn good. Once you get over the ridiculous and excellent beginning, where I was saying to myself, what the hell is going on? With everything exploding and characters flying through space, it was all over the top and different to what I was used to, and it was awesome. Plus Asura himself lives up to the wrath in the title, as he must be the angriest fucking guy in any video game I've ever played. The story was different to what I thought it would be, and I really enjoyed it as well. And then there's the combat, which is just as over the top as everything else, with a large enough moveset with some cinematic QTEs thrown in as well, to keep things interesting, and it's great. This was one game I've always heard about, but never got around to playing, but with backwards compatibility, it's so worth checking out. Coming in at number 4, we have Vanquish, and this one is a bit of a cheat, as this got a remaster for Xbox One, and which this footage is from, so it looks and performs better than the original, but it's still the same basic game, and it's more budget friendly too, so if you're interested in playing the game, then go with this version for sure. I just love the third person gunplay and cover shooting in this game, and when you jump up into the air and slow down time to just unload bullet after bullet into the enemies, it's exhilarating. Then we have the story, which is nothing spectacular or anything like that, but I very much liked it and the general aesthetic of this sci-fi world as well. From start to finish, it's just a pleasure to play and doesn't overstay its welcome either. Even when replaying it again, I just hope one day we can finally get a sequel to this Gen 7 classic. The whole package just comes together to deliver a fast and fun third-person shooter. For number 3, we have Ninja Gaiden 2, for anyone out there who is after a challenge with super fast, quick combat and counterattacks and pulling all of them off as you compete with the shithouse camera angles. The problems with the camera were in Ninja Gaiden Black as well, but considering even with this issue that this game gets so high on the list tells you something. Loading this game up, especially on the Series X or S, where you get auto HDR, is just really impressive. Starting off in Tokyo, high on the rooftops with the glow of the city down below, it still looks highly impressive and is as smooth as butter to play. This is another series which many hold in such high regard, and hopefully one day we get another, especially with the rise in popularity of From Software games. Ninja Gaiden 2 is another gem from the Xbox 360 era and deserves to be played, and thanks to backwards compatibility, we can return whenever we want to. It's so damn good. Up at number 2 we have Dante's Inferno, which is another awesome game I only discovered recently, and which I probably would never have played without backwards compatibility, and man, this game is just friggin' awesome, and that's for several reasons. For a start, I just love the setting of Florence and how the story is set up from the beginning, with you killing death, and that just tells you what type of game this is going to be. Balls to the wall action as you slice and dice all of your enemies apart with all of your combos, whilst you dash everywhere with the right thumbstick. The game still looks pretty damn good and it runs fantastically as you would imagine, and it's just a hell of a lot of fun. This list already has a few really fantastic third-person action games on it, and this is just another one which needs to be experienced if you're looking for this type of thing and are rummaging through all of those Xbox 360 games which can still be played. This didn't take long at all to hook me, and I'm very glad that I finally got to check it out in all of its violent and bloodletting awesomeness. Please give this a go. And at number 1, we have the absolute gem of Sleeping Dogs, and if you've never played this game, then you pretty much need to if you're in the market for not so much an open world, but an open city for your playground. And in this example, it's Hong Kong. The way the city has been recreated would be insanely impressive if it was done today. But considering it's an Xbox 360 game, it really is amazing with what was achieved here. But then you add in the excellent story and characters, good voice acting and script, and the fact that the game kicks off immediately and just never really falls off at all. Sleeping Dogs has often been forgotten over the years and is easily one of those games which so deserved a sequel, but which is unlikely to ever happen as the developer closed down. But if you're after a narrative-driven story with some good hand-to-hand combat to sink your teeth into as well, then play Sleeping Dogs. There's a reason why it still gets brought up all these years later, and that reason, it's fucking excellent. So there are even more fantastic Xbox 360 games which I think you should definitely play via backwards compatibility, whether that's on the Xbox One or on the new Series X and S. There is so many hours of excellent gameplay just on this list alone, so please give them a go and let me know which are your favorites and impressed you the most. But if you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and share it around the place, and I'll see you on the next video.